Okay, welcome back. We're doing the exercises in 8.2a, and that there is on page 170. So 8.2, page 170, and we're doing the exercises. So I'll do them all very quick, but we will be as very quickly. And the most important thing is the language and what I write down, my workings. But I will be doing this as if this is already on my page, okay, as it is in the video. Okay, so what I see here is that I'm going to apply the fact that the internal angles in this triangle add up to 180, and I'm going to transpose the two known constants to the far side. So I've transposed my terms, visualizing it that way. I put a dot there, and this is the visual way of saying I'm transposing it. I might put a plus minus and a plus minus on them, and they've turned into minus as they've come across. Brilliant. Our good old Casio calculator comes on the scene now, and we do what we've written down. 180 minus 58 minus 72 equals 50. Oh, hold on now. A equals 50 degrees, and let's apply stuff we know, which we can say is an acute angle. Is an acute angle. Okay, but just to practice the language we've been developing. Okay, now we move on to this, and we have to figure out what's the big idea in the maths. And the big idea is external angle is equal to the sum of the two internal opposite angles. So we don't include this angle here. We used it to prove this. So now we're going to write down what we're using. The big idea is 42 plus b equals 128. We'll transpose the 42. b equals 128 minus 42 equals 86 degrees. And let's start looking at the solutions they had in case we need to tell them to correct it. 8.2, question 2, we got b. 8.2, question 2, we got b equals 86. Brilliant. Okay. What's going on here? Let's not panic. Let's take it easy. Let's see what we can do. There is a problem though, because we're going to have to do some angle chasing. Okay, so what I'm going to do too is, because I recognize that it's a challenge, I'm going to draw it out for myself here. Okay, with our baseline, we have our supposedly 71 degrees. We do not need a protractor. We're not constructing it. And we're coming up here like so. I'm coming on out a bit there. Okay, so we have 71 degrees here. We have 140 degrees here. And we're supposed to find this angle. So we can't get it directly, but we can get this angle. This is chasing angles, angle chasing. So what I want to say to you about problem solving is, if you can't get the angle, your answer, get something else that will lead to it. So we'll get this. Now we don't have a name for that, so let's call it X. So it's a completely different part of the alphabet from C. You can call it any other letter you want to, and we'll calculate X first. So it's an intermediary. It's an intermediate value. Or it's a stepping stone value, maybe simpler language. It's not what we need, but if we use it as a stepping stone, we'll get to our answer. So it's a stepping stone variable. Okay, so let's do the maths. X plus 71 equals 140. Y, external angles. Transpose to 71. Now it's nearly half, so X equals 69. Okay. Oh, and now I see another little trick. And this is where the problem solving comes in. So by reflecting, so now we go and take 69. What's this about? Oh yeah. No, I don't see an extra trick actually. And sometimes this happens, so I thought we'll just have to that it'll end up being 71, but that's not true. Okay, so we've got it to be 69, and now we use the straight angle. So now we can say C, we don't have to talk about X anymore because we know it's 69 degrees. So now what we can do, by the way, do take 140, you know, just in case you don't know where that came from. I did 140 minus 71. We get 69. Okay, so now I know X is 69. So basically now we have C plus 69 equals 180. Why? Because it's a straight angle. Okay, so C is equal to 180 minus 69, which is equal to now what I'll do here is I have 69 on my calculator. I'll subtract commuted for 180, and I get a 1111, and I'll ignore the sign of it. So subtraction is not commutative, but if you ignore sign, it is commutative. So basically 111. Okay, C is 111. I have a red pen here. We're going, something I never did in class before is to correct all the time. I kind of just say it's right, trust me. But it is fun to use the marking scheme and get that sense of progress and achievement. Do you agree? Hope you do. Okay, we're doing brilliantly. We're achieving. So where I think I'm achieving, if I know where I'm at, so I'm getting C equals 111. And section 8.2, find me a C in here, 111 degrees. So full marks here. We'll give ourselves 10 out of 10, will we? Super. Next. Okay, let's angle chase. I'm not writing it out. I'm going to do it here right beside your pictures here. D is, well, I better not just write down the answer. 130 plus D equals 180. D transpose this. 180 minus 130 equals 50. Do you agree? D equals 150. D equals 50. Yes. And now 130 equals 70 plus E. Internal opposites equal external. Transpose the 70. Let's not go left, right. Let's not reflect. Let's keep the E over here. Take away the 70 equals 60. Okay. And it is right, and we have 50, 60, and 70, which is like an average of 60. Okay. Work out the sizes of the missing angles. So this is isosceles, so A equals B. So what we can say is double base angle plus the vertex angle. Take it down, write it out. You're learning by doing this. Double the base angle plus the vertex angle equals 180 degrees, the internals of a triangle. Okay, so we won't just say A and B, we'll drop one of them, we'll say 2A, we'll just say A equals B, and 2A plus 40 equals 180, and 2A equals transpose equals 140, divide down to 2. Why? Divide down the factor, transpose the term, divide out the factor, A equals 70, but we know A equals B, so B equals 70. Did I miss something up there? Or I missed a whole pile of them, did I? Missed 3. But it's a lot of the same stuff, so I'm going to drive on. Okay, we can speed things up here because it's the same again now. So what's was a problem has become an exercise. Okay, so we can have I'll try to speed things up here. I can say the base equals 180 minus the vertex over 2. I'm really speeding it up there because I'm doing all that in the calculator now in one go. We can do it. 180, take away the vertex angle. Okay, and that forms the two bases, so one of the bases will be that over 2, which will be 71. And of course D is equal to 71 as well. Okay, now we know E is 62, and so because it's base angle, the minute you say base angle you mean base angle in isosceles, so you don't even have to say it. No harm if you say justification, base angle in isosceles. So E is 62. So now let's look at the maths of this. So what we're going to say is F is equal to 180 minus twice the base angle, or 180 minus 2 62s. And the calculator will do all that for you. It knows all about about the order of operations and everything. It'll look after that for us. 180 minus 2, open up a bracket or do a multiplication sign there, it doesn't matter. 56 degrees. F equals 56 degrees. Am I in picture, guys? How are we doing? Just about. I better be careful about falling off the picture because I don't have to make this again. 56 degrees and 62 degrees. Excellent. Okay. Oh, lovely, lovely maths. Let's go. So we have 50 degrees, so we can get A. Now let's do this in our head. Could we do this in our heads? 50 away from 180 is 130. Half of 130 is 65. Okay, so A equals 65, and just to say yes, it's a bad idea to just do that in case I made a mistake, but I'm doing an awful lot of questions here, and in the exam you would get full marks for it, but not to say that I'd suggest you do it that way. Okay, I'm just trying to speed things up here. Now we have a base angle here in this triangle, and we have a 70 here, so I have a 70 here, and 70 and 70 is 140. So B, so this is totally unrelated in a way. So hang on, do that again. 70 and 70 is 140. This is isosceles triangle, that's why that's 70. And 140 away from 180 is 40. So B equals 40. Let's see how we write. A is 65 and B is 40. These two angles are the same because they're base angles, and 2C equals 105 because of that. So C equals 105 over 2, 100 plus 5 over 2, which is 52.5, 52.5. So pause the video, do it yourself, work it out. Ooh, look at this, 60 degrees. Oh, that's interesting. So the 60 degrees isosceles is actually equilateral, because that and that have to be equal, and there's 120. So this is actually equilateral. So it's 60, D equals 60 and 60. And that gives me my external here is 120 for lots of reasons. One is the straight angle here is 120 anyway, but also those two add to this. Okay, so I now know this is 120, and now I know these are both the same because we've that equals this. And so we have 2e plus 120 equals 180. 2e equals 60 after transposing the 120 term, and so e equals 30 degrees. Okay, so D equals 60 degrees, E equals 30 degrees. Done. I'll probably add another video later. So basically, if you see, so I've got 8.2a made, that was the kind of theory. 8.2b is this one, and I'll continue on the rest of the questions from 4 on. So I might call it 8.2 4 or 4c. We'll have to see. And I might put a 3 here just to kind of keep track of what questions I've done. Alright, as always students, I will see you in the next one.